I believe in putting up all the student athletes that are prepared to compete, a 10-0 start value, and compete well. I believe in giving them an opportunity to compete during the course of the year. For them, because they've worked hard, they deserve to compete. And also to let us see our depth, who's going to be able to score well, and who do we want to give a little bit more opportunity to continue to compete. Like, Vanessa's freshman year, she was not successful on beam for 4 meets in a row, but we kept putting her in because I knew that once she just got the jitters out, she'd score really well for us. So that's been my mentality. And some years it pays off. Some years we get to the championship season and we need to put someone in, and I think, oh my gosh, thank God I gave them an opportunity to compete during the season. So this isn't their first competition. So that's, I've been questioned about that quite a bit, but that's my philosophy and that's what I believe in. We don't ever go into a meet expecting to tank, and we don't ever go into a meet with question marks, and we don't ever go into a meet. I don't put up a team that I don't feel that can win that meet. And what happened on Friday was, in hindsight, it's so clear, and I take 100% responsibility for it. We chose to rest some people. We chose to sit some people out that needed to get a little bit more discipline during their training during the week. And so they were sat out for disciplinary reasons. And when we started the warm-ups on bars, I saw some student athletes just not be able to pick up their game and not be able to get into a rhythm. In hindsight, at that moment, I should have taken them out. Not because I didn't have faith that they couldn't pull it out for the meet, but because of the anxiety it sent through and permeated through the rest of the team. It's very clear that's what happened, and I take 100% responsibility for that. With that being said, our team is seasoned enough to be able to get through past a road bump and come out and take a deep breath and hit with confidence. And we kind of faded in and out of that for the rest of the meet, but we never really got into a rhythm. Part of it was because of what happened on bars. Another part of it was, we had a few key people. Aisha was one of them that was sick, and she was dizzy, but she felt like she could compete. And then she got through bars, and she's like, I can't do this. I'm getting too dizzy. So we were switching our lineups. It was one of those nights where it was all like this, as there was no calm confidence that night. The positives that we took out of that meet was, I think the dynamic of the team. They kept wanting to fight. They didn't shut down. And in the past, I've had some teams that, they'll get into a situation like that and they'll kind of get deer in the headlight and they'll shut down. They didn't shut down. I think, Lachelle Wong, even though she fell on bars, it's the first time she's competed all around in 3 years, and she did a great job. She did very, very well. Olivia Courtney came in and competed really well on floor, bars and vault for us, and she's ready to come back in on beam. And the absolute highlight of the meet was Alyssa Pritchett. Alyssa's been working 4 years for this, and she has a hard time controlling her enthusiasm and her anxiety. And every year we go out, we put her in, and she gets too stressed out, and she lands short on her first pass, and she's out for the rest of the season with an injury. And so we've worked a lot with her on her mental game. And she went out and just competed a beautiful routine. And I think the highlight for me was as soon as she came off the floor and looked at me and she said, it's the first time in college I've been able to compete and remember all of my cues. And it was like, yay, victory. That was great. This is a great meet for us to bounce back with. At home against Stanford, we are notorious for losing to Stanford during the regular season. And the girls, our team is not just going to be fired up because it's a home meet. They're going to be fired up because it's Stanford, and they're going to be fired up because they're embarrassed about what we did on Friday night. So I'm looking to have a great meet. I'm not worried about the bounce back at all. If anything, I'm worried a little bit that maybe be too amped up. Elise did sprain her ankle on floor. her last pass, and so I don't think that she's going to be competing much. If anything, right now she's not training. But everybody else should be ready to go. We're working on tweaking Maddie's floor passes, and so I don't know what event she'll be in on yet. But they're ready. We had great training yesterday, very focused training. Like I said, they're embarrassed, and they are ready to put it behind them and move on. So our next meet, as I said last week, it's Super Bowl Sunday. And from what I understand, the first 50 people that come in their super action hero garb will be receiving a special prize that they can pick up at the table as they enter. Meets at 12:30. It's the pre-Super Bowl party, so we're excited about it. I know that a lot of people are excited to come, and they've been talking to me about what they're going to wear, and so it's I think it's going to be a great bounce back for us.